friends, and welcome to the video series of Learning AngularJS Step by Step. My name is Maruti Makwana, and by profession, I'm a corporate trainer who provides training to different IT corporates on different Microsoft technologies. And I also do trainings on some JavaScript technologies. In this video series, we are going to learn AngularJS from scratch, and we'll see how AngularJS is going to help us in a modern web development. In this video, first I want you to go to this website, which is main website of AngularJS, which is angularjs.org. And the first step is we are going to download the AngularJS library so that we can use this thing in our sample code. I'm going to click on this download button, which is showing me that the latest version and the stable version of AngularJS is 1.4. I want you to click on this uncompress so that we can download the uncompressed version of that, and then click on download. Once you download this, it's going to download this library in your local machine, and I want you to keep that thing in your machine so that we can refer that thing again. Once we are done with this download, throughout this video series, we are going to use Visual Studio. So I'm going to open my Visual Studio, and in this, I'm creating a file, new website. And if you see, I'm going to create an ASP.NET empty website in my case. I'm specifying a meaningful name. Understanding_AJS, that's understanding AngularJS. And I hope you know that once we select ASP.NET empty website, this empty website is nothing but something like a folder. Inside this, we can use anything. If you are not familiar with Visual Studio, still, whatever I'm going to do in this sample, you can understand that thing if you know the basics of HTML and CSS. If you do not have Visual Studio set up at your home in your machine, you can use any other tool also which support these three things: HTML5, CSS3, and AngularJS. I'm going to add a new item in this website. That will be my simple HTML page first. And in this HTML page, we are going to add some content. Right now, we do not have any AngularJS specific things inside this, and it's a simple HTML code right now in this. Now, the first thing which I want you to learn is, whatever we can do inside this HTML page, my browser can render that thing. So if I just create one div tag inside this, and inside this div tag, whatever if I type is going to calculate, whatever if I type inside this is going to be visible in my browser. Suppose if I type my name here, and if I just run this page in a browser, it's going to show me that content. As you can see, it's showing me that. Now, in spite of this word, actually I'm going to type one special thing. In a double curly braces, I'm going to type 2 plus 2. Now, right now, my browser is going to treat this thing as again a simple HTML content. And if I run this thing, it's going to show me the same text which I have written inside that. To understand AngularJS, first I want you to understand that AngularJS directly apply JavaScript code into my HTML elements. How? That's what we are going to see in this first video. I'm going to copy my AngularJS from my location where I have downloaded, and I'm going to paste that thing inside this. So this is my AngularJS 1.4.1 version which we have just now downloaded from the website. And in my HTML page, if I want to use that thing, I need to refer this thing inside this head tag. Once you refer this AngularJS library, remember, this is just referred inside this. We are not using this thing somewhere in our page. So again, after referring this AngularJS also, if I run my page in a browser, you can see the output is same. It's just a simple text. Coming back to this, I'm going to add one new property inside my div tag now, because I want my AngularJS to deal with this div tag. So inside this div tag, I'm going to add one Angular property which is starting with ng dash. And you can see there are a number of properties which are even visible in my Visual Studio IntelliSense. I'm going to use one of them, that is with the name ng-app. And once I use this ng-app, there will be change in my output. If you see, I have just added one new property of Angular in this, and if I run this page in a browser now, is not showing me the same text, is actually calculating the value inside that double curly braces, and that's why it's showing me 2 plus 2 4. Now to understand this thing properly, let's do one thing. Let's understand what is this ng app first. As I said that this is a simple property because it looks like a property inside HTML tag. But if I want to explain this thing in Angular words, I'm going to say that ng app is actually a directive of Angular. All of these properties which are started with ng dash are actually known as Angular directives, and each directive is going to do some purpose. ng app directive is actually going to specify a boundary inside which AngularJS code is going to work. So once you specify ng app, it means my AngularJS knows that this is that div tag which is my boundary inside which my AngularJS code is going to work. And that's the reason it's going to execute this thing which is there inside the double curly braces. We have one term for this double curly braces syntax also. When you put something in double curly braces, that is known as Angular expression. And whatever is there in expression, Angular is going to execute that thing at runtime. In this first video, I have just shown you two important words actually. One is known as directive, which is nothing but Angular properties, and another one is expression, which is there in double curly braces. Throughout this video series, you will learn number of directives and number of new things of AngularJS. I hope you enjoy this series. Thank you.